Did you know 30% of car accidents in Sweden involve a moose? I say, don't let them drive. Wyoming sounds like Flash Gordon begging for mercy. Oh dear. Apparently, 1 in 13 Americans have worked for McDonald's. The other 12 got rejected. The other day, I couldn't decide whether to buy a packet of guitar strings or a box of eggs. It was 6 of one and half a dozen of the other. Oh dear. Okay, I can see through your smile because you've got glass teeth. I just got a text from heaven. That was a godsend. I was driving here and a policeman stopped me because one of my tyres was a bit flat. Luckily, I had a foot pump in the boot, so I knocked him out with that and drove off. Okay. I was working in a garage and little Bo Peep walked in. She said, "There's smoke coming out of my bonnet." I said, "Your hair's on fire." When I drive my car, eggs shoot out the boot. It's a hatchback. Okay. I'm colourblind, but it doesn't stop me enjoying life. The other night I saw Joseph and his amazing brown goat. It was great. So I got a job at Burger King and Andrew Lloyd Webber walked in. He said, "Give me 2 Whoppers." I said, "You're good looking and your musicals are great." Just spent £300 on a limousine and discovered that the fee doesn't include a driver. Can't believe I spent all that money and I have nothing to show for it. I asked my dog, "What's 2 minus 2? He said nothing. What did baby corn say to mama corn? Where's popcorn? I guess that works better if you call your dad Pop. What's the best thing about Switzerland? I don't know, but the flag is a big plus. What does a sprinter eat before a race? Nothing, they fast. Where do you learn to make a banana split? Sunday school. What has more letters than the alphabet? A post office. Dad, did you get a haircut? No, I got them all cut. So we just had Christmas, so still relevant, I guess. What do you call a poor Santa Claus? Saint Nicholas. I don't get this one, but maybe someone might. I got carded at a liquor store and my Blockbuster card accidentally fell out. The cashier said, "Never mind." Someone explain that one to me. Where do boats go when they're sick? To the boat's dock. Oh, that's the kind of tenuous one, really, isn't it? I don't trust those trees. They seem kind of shady. So I got a job at Burger King and Andrew Lloyd Webber walked in. He said, "Give me 2 Whoppers." I said, "You're good looking and your musicals are great." Batman walked up to me, smashed a vase over my head and said, "Tapow." I said, "Don't you mean kapow?" He said, "No, I've got china in my hand." Oh dear. You invented Tipex. Correct me if I'm wrong. Okay, this is a long one. So I was in this restaurant, and during the starter, the waiter came over, tapped me on the head with his little finger, and then walked off. Then during the main course, he got his index finger and applied gentle pressure to my shoulder. And then while I was having dessert, he brushed my ear lightly with his thumb. That's the difference between a good restaurant and a great restaurant. It's the little touches. I came here on a sheet of sandpaper. It was a bit of a rough ride. This bloke said to me, he said, "Do you think there's life on Mars?" I said, "Well, there's a couple of wasps around the wrapper." In case you don't know, Mars is a chocolate or brand of chocolate in the UK. Church singers, they're an acquired taste. Okay, I might need. So let me read that again. Church singers, they're an church singers, they're an acquired taste. Last night, I had a dream someone was saying, "On your marks, get set, go." I woke up with a start. In 2002, the Queen had been on the throne for 50 years. Would you believe it? This bloke said to me, he said, "Are you a high flyer?" I said, "No, I tend to hand out flyers at waist level." I went to the haberdashery. I was looking for a cheap frill. I went down the local opticians. I said, "Have you got a contact lens solution?" He said, "What about laser surgery?" This bloke said to me, he said, "I'm the brother of River Phoenix." I said, "You must be joking." Well, that doesn't, I mean, it's pronounced Joaquin, isn't it? So, it doesn't really work. Okay. I fell in love with a clumsy cleaner. She swept me off my feet. I said, "How much is it?" He said, $98.99. I said, "Make your mind up." I'm against the arms race. It's bad for your elbows. This bloke said to me, he said, "Do you have any strong political views?" I said, "No, I don't, you capitalist Europhobe." I rang up pest control. I said, "Vermin?" He said, "No, he just left." I threw a stick in the sea and a round floating object brought it back to me. I said, "There's a good boy." Then a bag of cement went past at 100 miles an hour. I thought, that's quicksand. Do you know the word receding is 400 years old? And that's going back a bit. So I went to the opticians. He said, "How many fingers am I holding up?" I said, 17,251. He said, "Wrong, 3. But I tell you what, you can't half count quick." Okay. I did some cross-dressing this morning. I said, "Where are my flipping socks?" I saw these two citrus fruits having a fight. It was Satsuma wrestling. This woman said to me, she said, "I've got designs on you." Then she showed me a diagram of my spleen. I used to be a teddy boy. I had 2 furry ears either side of my head. The other day, someone burnt the bottom of my shoes. It was soul destroying. I thought Tom Cruise was a boating holiday for male cats. Oh, God. I went to a posh party and everyone was drinking and knitting. I got pins and needles. I'm on a seabed diet. If I see a bed, I eat it. That's silly. Frozen apples, they're hardcore. Whenever I wash up, I get covered in soapy bubbles. It's Sud's Law. My local village was destroyed by toilet paper. Everyone was wiped out. So I was in the party shop with my granny. She said, "This kaleidoscope's rubbish." I said, "That's a balloon pump." So I saw this dolphin serial killer. It was Jack the Flipper. My horse, he doesn't go out much. He's a Shire horse. So I went to the hair salon and my dad's sister came in spinning round in circles. I thought, oh my giddy aunt. So I said to this bloke, I said, I'm going to Buckingham Palace to do Prince Philip's hair. He said, have you got a permit? I said, no, I've just got to take a bit off the back. I said, do you like my shirt? It's covered in pictures of cactuses. He said, cacti? I said, never mind the tie. What do you think of the shirt? So I was playing the piano in a bar and an elephant walked in. As I was playing, he started crying his eyes out. I said, do you recognise the tune? He said, no, I recognise the ivory.